Welcome everybody to RoboMania 9. It has been a while, but whatever. We are back and let's jump right into it. RoboMania 9. This is going to be an intense card. It's going to be pretty interesting, so I'm super excited for it. It is headlining with our main event being Supersonic going up against ReptoDeath. That's a pretty interesting fight. As of now, we already have the heavyweight championship being held at RoboMania 10, which is between the champion Hammerhead versus the top contender, which is Spider, who is holding a record of 5-1. So it's a pretty interesting fight. This is to determine pretty much a knockout for the title. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But first, let's take a look at the heavyweight rankings right now. This is the top 15 with Hammerhead and Spider sitting up at the top, who are fighting next episode. We also have Supersonic, who is sitting at number 3 right now, going up against the number 7 ReptoDeath. That is going to be a pretty interesting fight. I would say this is a title elimination fight right here. If whoever wins might have a better chance of fighting for the tournament compared to the person who loses. So I'm fairly interested in it. And we also have the middleweight rankings. As of now, there's only 11 middleweights. So there's going to be some interesting things. I actually have a super big announcement right before the main card. So if you guys are interested, stick around and you guys will be in for a little bit of a treat. But let us jump into our first match, which is between Razorback and Dodo. Razorback has the 1-2 record, while Dodo has the 1-1 record. Both of these robots are trying to get their second win, and whoever does is going to look pretty good on the rankings as of next episode. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we got Dodo going up against Razorback. I almost called him ReptoDeath. That is later, and they're both spinning discs, so this should be a pretty interesting fight. ReptoDeath and Dodo are pushing at each other right now, and there's people riding ATVs right in front of my apartment, but something flies out of Dodo, and that is part of its weapon. Anyways, it looks like Razorback is nailing some pretty big hits on Dodo. Dodo, it has that half of its weapon remaining, which it just teleported away, kind of just drifted, and now it's just Razorback who has a weapon. Razorback is in control of this match right now. Dodo is keeping the pressure, however, pushing Razorback against the wall to its side. It actually has a good position right now. It just doesn't have any weapons, so it can't really do much. This is going to be a fairly interesting fight for Dodo. It has to do something. It has to use the hazards. Razorback just can land hits at will, and it is doing that right now. While Dodo is trying to... I think Razorback was getting counted out for immobilization, but it got out of it, and now Razorback is getting pushed against the wall, but landing some beautiful hits on Dodo, ripping off 2 of its front wedges. Oh, a big hit on the front left chassis of Dodo, and Dodo, it looks like, is in trouble right now. Dodo backs up almost into the spinning disc. Some more hits from Razorback. He is just grinding away at Dodo. Dodo's now smoking. Uh-oh. About 1:20 left in this match, and Dodo is not looking good. Razorback is controlling. Even though it's getting pushed against, there's a big hit. There's more big hits. I think that'll do it. That was it. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Dodo loses. Ooh, what a crazy fight. Via KO, Razorback wins. And our next fight is going to be an interesting one. We got kind of a little bit of a rival right now on Discord between Dungeon Keeper and Takeoff 2. It should be a pretty interesting fight. These are both debut robots. They have not fought yet. They're making their official debut for RoboMania tonight. And they're both pretty hyped up right now. This one is to determine pretty much the rivalry. Set it forward. Let's get into it. Dungeon Keeper versus Takeoff. Takeoff is the black and red, while Dungeon Keeper is the brown and red. And Dungeon Keeper instantly pushes Takeoff against the wall, almost flips it out of the arena, flips it over on its back, however, and now it's upright. And Dungeon Keeper is now getting flipped, almost. They're kind of trading flips right now. Dungeon Keeper flipped on its back, just like that. I don't think he could self-right from there. Takeoff 2 controlling now. It got flipped over in the very beginning of the fight, but now flipped over Dungeon Keeper. I think that'll do it. Dungeon Keeper, I don't think can self-right right now. Takeoff backs off. Uh-oh. Dungeon Keeper getting counted out with under a minute in the fight. Oh, here we go. I think that'll do it. By TKO. Takeoff. Takeoff 2, might I add. Takeoff 2 wins this fight. That was a very interesting fight, actually. I could have seen it gone either way. But Takeoff 2 takes the win over Dungeon Keeper, moving on to 1-0 and still undefeated in RoboMania. And just a friendly reminder for everybody, if you enjoy these videos, I put a lot of work into them with editing and all this such. I would very appreciate any sort of rating, like it, dislike it, leave a comment, I would really appreciate it. And there's also a sign up for my Discord. You can upload any robots you want. They have to go through a little bit of qualifying, but they'll most likely get them if they're not crazy OP. But if you want to upload a robot to RoboMania, just sign up for my Discord and send it in through the Discord, and you might see it in a future video. But without further ado, let's jump into our next fight. We got a Heap of Game, who is 1-0, going up against Drango, which is a 1-1 robot. Both of these robots, this is actually a cluster bot, the first one, the Heap of Games. It's two middleweight robots which come together as a heavyweight. So this is going to be a fairly interesting fight. Their last fight ended in a judge's decision win, and Drango, of course, has a 1-1 record with 1 KO win and 1 KO loss. Right now, Drango's kind of getting pinned up against both. Now, cluster bots are a very interesting design, mainly because you have more than one robot, and it's a very, very interesting way to see how it works. Because you can gang up on a robot, just like right now Drango's being ganged up on. And I actually can't turn around. Drango's in a heap of trouble right now. Oh wow, look at me. Look at me saying things that make sense. Oh, Drango gets flipped over a little bit and is now pinned up against the wall by the second Heap of Games bot. Oh my. One of the Heap of Games bots is almost getting flipped over. Drango self-rights itself, and one is smoking now. This is a fairly interesting fight. Now, I love these cluster bots. However, going in the heavyweight division as a cluster bot, it's fairly hard to knock out an opposing robot. So most of the fights we'll see from the cluster bots, I don't think they're going to finish them if they don't get finished themselves. But pointing it out, Drango lost one of its weapons a while back, and it looks like both of the Heap of Game robots are tired now. One of them can't even lift up its weapons, and Drango, of course, doesn't have a weapon, can only push away. There is friendly fire also, so a Heap of Games can definitely destroy itself if it's not playing smart, and it doesn't look like they're playing smart right now, actually. They split up. We got just about a minute left in this match. Drango has no weapon. It has to rely on the hazards to win. And it doesn't, I don't think Drango has the driving speed to get around two robots. If this was one robot, it would be a different story, but since there's two robots, it's very interesting. Drango gets smacked into the hazard. That will surely not help it if it goes to a judge's decision. We got 40 seconds left in this match. Both of the Heap of Game robots look drained from their batteries. They have no energy left, and Drango, of course, just doesn't have a weapon, so it can't even do anything if it had energy. So this is kind of a stalemate right now. We got 20 seconds left in the match. Oh, a Heap of Games is flipped over. Kind of. Yes, I think it is flipped over. And his buddy's trying to help him out. He's like, come on, bud. Brother, help me. Drango is now pushing forward. 5 seconds left in the match. And I believe this is going to a judge's decision. And it is. Ooh. 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 We're waiting for the judge's decision right now. That was a fairly interesting fight. I think it went in favor of a Heap of Games. Both robots were drained through their energy, but they did more damage to Drango. Let's see what the judge's decision was. And with that, it was a unanimous decision for a heap of games, 30-27. They won every minute of the fight. So that is a very interesting and very impressive win via decision. A heap of games now has 2 wins, both of them being a decision win. So I'm fairly interested to see what's going to happen in a heap of games later on in the future. But with further ado, let's jump into our next fight, which is Bot Lesnar going up against Junkyard. Both of these robots are undefeated 1-0 robots. This should be a fairly interesting fight. Let's jump into it. Junkyard in green, Bot Lesnar in orange. Let's see how this goes. These are both spinning robots, and it's going to end deadly. This is going to be a KO for sure. They smack each other at initial. Oh, one of the blades comes off of Junkyard. And it seems like one of the weapons comes off of Bot Lesnar. They're trading though. Junkyard goes flying. Gets hit upside down, and now Bot Lesnar is pushing. This is a fairly weird fight right now. Junkyard is pinned up against the wall. Bot Lesnar is trying to control it right now. Now, when a robot loses all of its weapons, they usually lose. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Junkyard. It has a 1-0 record, so it did fairly good in its first match, winning by TKO, as did Bot Lesnar. It's still being pinned up against the wall. This is valuable minutes for the judges. Junkyard is in a terrible position right now. Bot Lesnar is controlling this fight. Pinned up against the corner, and there goes its mount for its weapon. It is just a box with wheels now, and Bot Lesnar is trying to take advantage, but actually got wedged up on top of Junkyard. And there is a fairly significant amount of damage to the back right side of the chassis of Junkyard. Now for the front, being pushed. Is it going to hit the spinning disc? Oh, I think Bot Lesnar actually took the first blow of the spinning disc, losing one of its protective pads, I guess, for the wheels. Now they're driving. They're going places. Junkyard into the spinning disc, taking some significant damage. We got about a minute left in this fight. Thrown up against the wall one more time. This isn't looking good for Junkyard. Junkyard is having big problems in this fight. Bot Lesnar is probably one of the biggest robots in the heavyweight division. Actually backs up against the hazard. Didn't do much damage, it looks like. And I think that did it. That was the final blow right there. Junkyard takes the final hit. Bot Lesnar wins it via KO. Ooh, Bot Lesnar moves on to 2-0. That is going to be a fairly interesting robot to see progress. I'm excited to see what that robot's going to do in its future. But we have an interesting fight. This is the prelim main card right here, the main event for the prelims. This is to determine who will be kicked out of RoboMania. We got Double Cut going up against Raptor. Now both of these robots are on a terrible lose streak. I believe Raptor is on a 3-fight lose streak right now, while Double Cut is on a 4-fight lose streak. So that's just not good. One of these robots is going to win tonight. Let's find out who it is. Double Cut going up against Raptor. This is an interesting fight. Ooh, I'm excited for this one. Both of these robots are choppers. Choppers tend not to do very well in RoboMania, but who knows what will happen. Spinners and flippers usually do really good. Raptor is doing some good hits on the side of Double Cut, but Double Cut actually comes back and knocks off Raptor's weapon. That was one of the biggest problems for Raptor. Its weapon is super weak, and that is also one of the problems for Double Cut as well. It also cannot drive very efficiently, but one of these robots is going to get its 6th career win, and one of them is going to be kicked out of RoboMania. So I'm fairly interested to see what's going to happen. We got just above 2 minutes left in the fight. Double Cut's laying some huge hits on top of Raptor. Raptor smoking now, taking some significant damage. Raptor is, I don't know what Raptor's plan is right now. Driving into the spinning disc sure wouldn't help it, and that's what kills it. Oh jeez, oh jeez. I can't believe that's just what happened. Wow, ReptoDeath is not that fighter. Raptor is what I'm talking about. Double cut wins. Jeez, that was intense. Let's take a look at the main card for tonight. Up top, we got the number 6 Supersonic going up against the number 7 ReptoDeath. I actually believe I messed that up already. I can tell right now. Supersonic is ranked 3, while ReptoDeath is ranked 7. Fish Power for the co-main event. We got Fish Power going up against Fox Trot. That is a middleweight fight, and that should be fairly interesting. We got the number 13 Backyard Ripper going up against a top contender, God62, who is undefeated right now and trying to cause some havoc in the RoboMania. With Dr. Puncher, the 2-in-1 robot, going up against the 2-for-2 Dinner for 1. And our first prelim, which is Eye Poker, going up against the Flipper, where you at both these robots have a 500% win rate. This is going to be a very, very interesting card. But this is the hype that's going to be happening before RoboMania 10, the battle between Hammerhead versus Spider. We are going to be hosting a tournament which is going to be called RoboMania Apprentice. Now, what this whole thing is about, since there's only 11 robots in the middleweight division right now, we have 16 middleweight robots that are jumping into RoboMania in a single elimination tournament. And with that being said, there's going to be one winner of that tournament, and that winner is going to be fighting for the middleweight belt against whoever is at top of the ranking system at the end of this episode. So, with that being said, let's jump into the main card with Eye Poker going up against Where You At. Let's do it. 3-3 versus 2-2, and Where You At is flipping Eye Poker instantly. Eye Poker is pinned up against the wall. Eye Poker it can work upside down, so I'm not fairly worried for Eye Poker's immobility, but I don't know. It's if it gets control the whole fight, then it's definitely not going to win. But Where You At doesn't have any weapons besides his flippers, so if it doesn't flip Eye Poker out of the arena, there's not going to be a lot of things that's happening. Eye Poker is getting pinned right now, while Where You At is just pushing. Both these robots still trying to feel each other out. Eye Poker slammed against the wall by Where You At. That was a nice slam. 2 minutes left. Oh, the spinning disc. Eye Poker gets a lot of damage to the backside of his chassis. And now it's trying to get flipped over again. It still has not been flipped from the flipper Where You At. Where You At has just been controlling Eye Poker, not leading to causing damage. But this is, I'm interested. I'm interested right now. I'm a very interested lad. And then there's a huge hit from the spinning hazard on the side of Eye Poker. It actually didn't do as much damage as I thought it would do. And Where You At's just driving Eye Poker around right now. Eye Poker does not know what to do. I almost feel bad. Oh, there's the flip. There's a flip that we've been waiting for. Can we get another? We do actually get another. 2 flips. I think those were the first 2 flips of the fight. And Eye Poker just got him with just above a minute left in the fight. Eye Poker is now upside down, but like I said, it can work upside down. Actually did a pretty good hit. It gets flipped by the flipper into the spinner disc, and they both actually get hit. And the flipper get another flip out. The arena flipper, oh close, but no cigar. Where You At's trying to cause damage. I think right now Where You At has caused more damage to Eye Poker, has controlled the whole fight. There's 30 seconds left. Eye Poker needs a miracle, gets flipped by the arena, almost out of the arena again actually. And now is getting flipped a lot. And is pinned up against the wall upside down. Yikes. Eye Poker, I got dominated this whole fight in my opinion from a strategy point of view. trying to get one last hit, but gets flipped in the process, and then by the flipper, and that'll do it. Ooh. I don't think that was a very close fight in my opinion. I believe iPoker lost that one with Where You At winning by maybe 30 to 26 vote. I don't even know. But let's see what the judges have said. And they do say Where You At wins via unanimous decision with 30 to 27 vote. Wow. iPoker got controlled that whole fight. There was no chance for iPoker. Where You At moves on to 3-2. A pretty nice record, and is going to definitely be climbing in the rankings. Let's move on to our next fight, however, which is Dr. Puncture, the 2-in-1 robot, going up against Dinner for One, the whole body spinner. This is spinner versus spinner action, and both these robots need to implement a huge mark in this ranking system, and I don't think neither of them have done that so far, but if Dr. Puncture gets a big win, I believe it can definitely move up. Dinner for One's going to have to win a few more fights, just because lost one extra fight. And there's actually a huge dent in the front chassis of Dinner for One. Oh, Dinner for One's getting cut in half. It's like a pie right now. That does not look good. Dinner for One, no. What is happening to you, buddy? Dr. Puncture is keeping that position, keep pushing, and it'll eventually just keep damaging Dinner for One. Oh man, this is very interesting so far. Dinner for One has to back up. It has the room, it's just getting pushed up against the wall and can't do much. There's smoke now emitting from Dinner for One, while Dr. Puncture is just keeping that momentum, just keeps pushing. Dinner for One can't do anything, to be honest. It needs space to build up its speed for its weapon. It makes one push, but it gets damaged in the process. And oh, Dinner for One lays a huge hit from behind. Oh, Dinner for One's getting dented the other way now. Dinner for One, what has happened to you, buddy? And another big hit. I think that'll do it. That was it. Via KO, Dr. Puncture wins, gets his 3rd KO win. Fun fact, all 3 of Dr. Puncture's wins are from KOs. I'm excited to see what that robot's going to bring in the future. But let's jump into our next fight, which is between the number 13 ranked Backyard Ripper, who has a 3-2 overall record, going up against Godsticks 2, who has a 2-0 undefeated record. This is a good fight. This is a really good fight. Godsticks has been making some crazy hits in its times in RoboMania. Has 1 elimination win and 1 knockout, and already has knocked off with a weapon of Backyard Ripper. There it goes. The whole disc is off now. And Backyard Ripper is getting ripped up. Oh no. Oh, a huge hit. Oh, that was dirty. That was the absolute dirtiest hit I've seen in RoboMania. Godsticks just delivered to Backyard Ripper. Oh my goodness. There goes both of its wheels. And I think it's getting counted out right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think that will do it. Yes. Godsticks 2 moves on to 3-0. Wow. I'm like in shock right now. That was a beautiful hit for the knockout. Woo! But we're moving on to our co-main event right now, which is the middleweight fight between the two ranked Fish Power and the 4th ranked Fox Trot. This should be a fairly interesting fight. Let's see what happens. Fish Power is a flipper going up against Fox Trot, who's a spinner, and a huge hit from Fox Trot flips over Fish Power and knocks off its wheel and its weapon. And instantly Fish Power has to fight off with its back, has no weapons left anymore. And now it's just getting pushed up against the wall. Oh boy. Fish Power's just, it can't even do anything. It has 1 wheel left and that's it. From the very beginning, Fish Power is getting manhandled by Fox Trot. It can't even drive properly. Look at it. Oh no, fish power. But let's look at Fox Trot on the other hand. Fox Trot has that deadly, that spinner. It's just absolutely deadly. And I think fish power is getting counted out, I believe. Yes, fish power has been knocked out via TKO. Interesting. Fox Trot moves up to 2-1, dropping fish power to 3-2. That is that's gonna throw some craziness in the middleweight division right now. I believe we have Chappie sitting up top, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in this middleweight division, especially with RoboMania Apprentice coming fairly soon. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into our main event, which is Supersonic, the 6-2 robot, going up against the 7th ranked ReptoDeath. Both of these robots are fairly deadly. I can't even wait, guys. Let's jump into it. ReptoDeath versus Supersonic. ReptoDeath representing green, Supersonic red, and ReptoDeath gets some good hits at the very beginning, leaving a dent in the front right side of Supersonic, but drives up against the wall, and now Supersonic's on the attack. Oh boy. They're trading blows right now. Now these robots are really good. They're the top contenders, I would say. And who's fighting next for the belts? Supersonic's looking good. So is ReptoDeath though. If ReptoDeath wins in a good fashion, then who knows what's gonna happen. But it's getting hit pretty hard right now, but it has that armor which can take a lot of damage. Got just about a minute done in this fight. And ReptoDeath has a pretty big dent in the left side of the chassis. The wall goes down. Supersonic is fighting now. Supersonic is feeling it. ReptoDeath has to drive, has to turn in order to land some good hits. There's another big hit. ReptoDeath looks like it's getting sandwiched right now. It's getting pinched together. We've got 3 minutes 30 seconds left in the match. ReptoDeath is getting damaged. I think that'll do it. That was it. Ooh boy. Supersonic moves on to 7-2 via KO over the 7th ranked ReptoDeath. Wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow. Ooh. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of RoboMania. It should be an awesome tournament, and after that follows RoboMania 10. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of RoboMania. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.